Alright you guys, what's happening? Welcome back to another matchday reaction video. This time we're talking St Johnstone 0, Aberdeen 2 from this afternoon. A game that kind of was in three stages. The first 15 minutes where St Johnstone were all over us. The next 30 minutes which was quite even and we scored a goal right at the start of that. And then the second half where I thought we were actually pretty good. Couple of housekeeping things before we actually get into today's game. First off, it looks like Logan's going to be out for the season. If not, he's going to miss certainly a large chunk of time. So that's a wee bit disappointing, although two things. One, I don't think Logan's been playing particularly well this season, and second off, Dom Ball came in at right back, which is reason for any Aberdeen fan to panic. But if today's game is anything to go by, we'll probably be alright. Well, that might be famous last words, but we'll see on that one. The other thing, of course, is during the week that Ferguson signed a 5.5-year extension to his deal, which is absolutely massive for us. He's been so good in his first season at Aberdeen. To get him extended for so long is really big for the club. Obviously, we've got Scott McKenna on a long-term deal. We've got Lewis Ferguson on a long-term deal. These guys are potentially the future of the club, so it's amazing to get them tied up. Lastly, I didn't do a video last Saturday because I couldn't go and I didn't see the game. By all accounts, we were pish against St Mirren last Saturday, and obviously we drew 2-2, and it sounded like we didn't deserve to win the game. In fairness, today, we kind of carried that on in the first 15 minutes today. St Johnstone, for 15 minutes, were all over us to start the game, and we just did not get out of the traps. They had one which was blocked by Considine, a last-ditch challenge. They had another one where it looked like Lewis Ferguson thought he had a shout for the goalkeeper or something like that, and he left it, and the ball just stopped. I think it was Liam Craig was kind of on his arse trying to scoop it towards goal. It was a bit of a shambles, to be honest. We were really, really lucky not to go 1-0 down there. And then out of nothing, we break up the park once and score. So it's Dominic Ball who's fed Graeme Shinnie. Shinnie's trying to get onto his left foot, but he cuts back onto his right round about the edge of the box and curls it round the goalkeeper for 1-0. And there's no argument that can be made that says we deserve to be 1-0 up at that point. I'm pretty sure it was our first attack, and yeah, all of a sudden we're 1-0 up. And that was a big blow for St Johnstone, and it really helped us kind of settle down a wee bit. The last half hour of the first half, there wasn't a huge amount to talk about. It was kind of one of those even games. I think the only thing that's really worth talking about for the rest of the first half was how dreadful the referee was. Ewan Anderson, I know we've had him once before, I can't remember which game it was, but he didn't have a clue today. He was so dreadful in the first half. He wasn't much better in the second, but the first half he was honestly spoiling the game. His decision making just made no sense at times. I think he booked Chris Kane for one where St Johnstone broke on us and he got to the edge of the box. Shinnie's nipped in just in front of him to nick the ball away, and Kane, as he's trying to take the shot, has caught Shinnie and he got booked for that. Within 2 minutes, there was 2 tackles that came in from St Johnstone. One of them was Ricky Foster, I can't remember who the other one were, which were clear stick-on bookings that he didn't give, whereas the Kane one I thought was really, really unlucky, so Christ knows why he got booked, and the other 2 didn't. But he was just giving decisions like that all day. It was just one of those. I can't sit here and say he was biased in any way, he just didn't have a clue what he was doing, and he was really spoiling the game. That being said, there wasn't a great amount of football being played in the first half, so there wasn't a huge amount to spoil. Second half was weird. We started to play some very good football. I wouldn't say we dominated the second half, but we started to take a wee bit more control of the game. And it was weird because there was maybe 3 or 4 periods where we played some really nice one-touch passing in around, and then most of the rest of the half was some of the scruffiest football you've ever seen. It was just such a strange game of football in the second half. But it got more stretched and it got a wee bit more exciting, which is obviously fine if you're 1-0 down, but when you're 1-0 up, it can be a wee bit nerve-wracking. So we had a couple of chances. There was one that McLennan probably should have put away for a cutback, where he's kind of scooped it over the bar. They had one which was deflected off the post, and yeah, then Graeme Shinnie's made it 2-0. Now Shinnie, I believe, has picked up the ball around about the halfway line. Again, Dominic Ball's going to get credit for the assist, but this was all Shinnie. He's picked up the ball, he's been given the freedom to run forward, and he's got to the edge of the box and lashed it across Cammy Bell to make it 2-0. Really, really good finish in the bottom corner. Quite like the first goal, but a total touch of class with Shinnie the day. So yeah, I thought that overall we were probably the better side today. 2-0 might be a wee bit harsh on St Johnstone, and going 1-0 down when they did was certainly harsh on them. But I think overall, especially the way we played the second half, I thought we probably deserved to win the game. I thought that we were good in spells of the second half. I thought we were okay in spells of the first half. But to be honest, the most dominant part of the game was their first 15 minutes. So if they feel a wee bit aggrieved that they didn't get anything out of the game, then in that sense, I can kind of understand it. So before we get to the Aberdeen team, there's 2 players in particular for St Johnstone I want to talk about today. We'll start with a positive. Matty Kennedy is a really good player. He was very, very dangerous today. Every time he came forward, he looked like he could make something happen. Nothing really came up for him in the end, but we've seen Matty Kennedy this season in a bunch of different games really have an impact. I thought he was their standout player, to be honest, today, and it was just a shame that nothing really came off for him. On the flip side, Ricky Foster had probably his best game in red, despite the fact he was wearing blue the day. He was dreadful. Like, there was at least 2, and I think I remember 3 times where he took a throw in and threw it straight out of the park. There was a couple of times where he's booted it out of the park. He committed a bunch of really silly fouls. He gave the ball away constantly. He was so bad today, it was unbelievable. And yeah, he was like such a positive for us. Ricky Foster was that bad today, it became worth the pricey admission. He was so fucking terrible. I will remember his performance today for a while. It was that bad. For the Aberdeen point of view, kind of mixed reviews on the team today. We'll start with the negatives, right? Mikey Devlin doesn't look fit. He gave the ball away a few times. He got turned a couple of times. I just didn't think he looked particularly good today. Gary Mackay-Steven had a couple of no bad touches before he went off, but he just really wasn't in the game today. And Sam Cosgrove, for me, struggled to get in the game today. Granted, there was a lot of times where I felt he was getting fouled and not getting anything for it. It was weird, actually, because from the point we scored for about 50 minutes, Sam Cosgrove really linked up well with the midfield. But before and after that, he really didn't. So it was kind of a strange game for Cosgrove. He had a couple of half chances, but he never really looked like scoring today. The positives, we have to talk about Dom Ball. Now, I didn't want to see Dom Ball play right back. I think there's an argument that Dom Ball was man of the match today. I think there's only really 2 candidates for us today. And I think most people will give it to Graeme Shinnie because he was excellent and obviously he scored both goals in a 2-0 win. But I thought Dominic Ball today was absolutely fantastic. He defended so well. He was so good on the ball. He just had a really, really good game. He was coming forward from right back and he was distributing the ball from all over the place. It wasn't like he was just hugging that line when he was coming forward. He was making himself available anywhere. But I don't think there was many times he was caught out of position on the break. So I was really, really impressed with Ball today. I think we all remember how fucking shite he was in that semi-final last year, playing right back, and I think that might have clouded our judgment a wee bit. I can't remember how many times Ball's played right back for us before today, but that one game against Motherwell was so unbelievably bad that sticks in the memory. But today's performance for Ball was really, really good, so I was happy with Dominic Ball. A guy I've never been too happy with, despite the fact he's been with us forever. Andy Considine, I thought, had a really good game today. He made a crucial block very early in the game at 0-0, and overall I thought he actually defended really well the day at centre half. Now I think he's probably going to lose his place to McKenna now that McKenna's ban is up. It depends obviously on Mikey Devlin's fitness, but Considine had a really good game today. I was quite happy. Lewis Ferguson had another really, really good game today. He was good on the ball. He had a couple of runs where he was just taking the piss out of people, to be honest. And yeah, like, Lewis Ferguson's just such a good player that we are lucky to have him. Graeme Shinnie, if you want to say Shinnie was man of the match today, I'm absolutely not going to argue. He was brilliant. He had one really crucial interception on a breakaway at 1-0, where he's intercepted Chris Ken on the edge of the box and been fouled. Ball did an okay enough job slowing him down, but it still didn't look like Shinnie was going to get there, and he did. And if Shinnie had got there slow, he would have been given a straight red card. So Shinnie was just all over the place the day he had. I don't think Shinnie's been in the greatest form the last 2 or 3 weeks, but I thought he was brilliant today. And the last one is Connor McLennan. Now, McLennan, I think his decision making still isn't great. I think I've talked about that before. And I also think that his deliveries in the box today weren't the best, but he showed really exciting signs today. He was taking guys on and really, really having some success. And yeah, there's such a good football player in there with Connor McLennan. I just hope we can get it out of him, because I still worry about his decision making. His deliveries in the box sometimes are great, sometimes aren't. But yeah, I really like Connor McLennan, and I hope he can at least get a run in the team at the moment. But he took a knock today, and I wasn't sure if that was what took him off today, because he went off a few minutes later, even though he looked alright. But maybe it was just a precaution at the same time as well, because we were 2-0 up. So a good win today. Really, really happy to go to a place that's difficult to win at and get 3 points. Especially today, considering the 2 teams chasing us. Hearts drew with St Mirren. Kilmarnock got beat at Livingston. So 2 kind of surprise results. And with us getting the 3 points has really, really helped us out. We're now 2 points behind Rangers, who have the game in hand tomorrow against Hamilton. And we can forget about Celtic. But speaking of Hamilton, that'll be our next game on Wednesday night. We're at home to them. Hamilton must be sick of playing us in midweek, because I think all 3 games have been midweek this season. So yeah, that's no great for the aim, obviously, but for us, it's a chance to get another 3 points against a team we have a pretty decent record against. So especially at home against Hamilton, we've got a really, really good record. We needed to bounce back after that game against St Mirren, and I think we can take a lot of positives out of the day. Granted, the first 15 minutes was really, really poor, but once we scored, we kind of got going after that. So if we can carry that into the Hamilton game, that should be another 3 points, keep us in third place, keep us on the coattails of Rangers in the league, and then a crack at Rangers in the Cup. So we'll look forward to that. But for now, we're going to wrap up. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed, hit the red subscribe button. It helps me out a bunch. Like the video as well, which helps it get out there. If you know anybody who'd enjoy it, share it with them. I've been QMJ. Thanks for watching. I will talk to you again sometime.